Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're dealing with Ready to Love, and we're talking about Shiloh and Phil. And what we're discussing here is around the issue of the fact that Shiloh has potentially been hypocritical with the way she's dealt with Phil. I mean, she wanted time to go through the process with Tyrone, and now she's forcing Phil to make a decision and be very direct when it comes to who he wants to choose. All right, cool. Let's talk a little bit more about this on this particular snippet that was left on OWN TV. If you're new to the channel, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, really know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there are hot. All right, cool. So let's break it down, all right? So we get this opening clip scene where we see Shiloh talking to Tommy. And the first thing you want to notice, really, is the fact that Phil's body language is disengaged. And I think this is so important to the overall conversation. He been, done, had it, and is over it. He's over it. That level of body language and disengagement and level of nonchalant disassociation in his body language. You just watch his facial expressions. He does not want to be there. Does not want to have this conversation. Doesn't want to have this talk. And you can interpret that several ways. Evidently, he's over this type of conversation, right? It's over this particular situation. That was the first thing I noticed. Then we kind of get straight into the conversation where, Shiloh's kind of talking about saying how she wanted direct answers, because she wanted to know what he was doing, wanted to know what he was choosing. And I think this is where I really want to talk about the Shiloh situation, where it wasn't long ago when you were with Tyrone, you told Tyrone you wanted to go through the process to be able to do what you need to do, and we had to be okay with that. That was your excuse for not wanting to choose Tyrone, and that's okay, right? But you can't then flip it on Phil later on and say you want a direct answer, right? I'm saying this specifically for Shiloh because of what she said in the beginning. Had she not said anything, I wouldn't have said anything. But because she decided to say something to Tyrone about how he should how she had to go through the whole process, when and she said it herself, about what he's choosing was simply that I'm going through the process, and let me do what I'm doing. Why are you then arguing, Shiloh? That's the issue I have, right? That now comes off as hypocrisy and entitlement in the situation, right? And you're failing to emotionally regulate yourself. Because when you had your chance, you told the brother you want to go through the process. You don't want to make that choice just yet. Now you're in a situation and the brother's telling you the same thing. Why can't you do it? You can't do it because now you don't have the power. You no longer have the power. And I always say this, Ready to Love, the game show, will expose everybody to look bad in some shape or form. Because the truth of the matter is we are selfish individual beings. And when we date, we often date with a selfishness. There are power moves, there are control moves, there are pretenses, there are representatives, there are all manner of things that come out from people when they're dating, but people don't see it because they are behind a text screen or they're in their own home or they deal with people one-to-one. Now we get the exclusive view of what people do when they're dating. Shiloh pushing to get an answer from him, okay, wanting to know exactly what his answer was when you've already said to someone else earlier on that you want to be able to have this process makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense, but doesn't make sense. You get to have the opportunity to go through your process, but he has to choose. And I say this again. Of course, we're talking about PEW, and I always say this: when you're falling over the edge of the cliff, when you are feeling like, hey, you know what? I'm feeling you now. What's your kind of viewpoint? Yes, you have to ask the question directly. And the answer, as she said herself, the answer is in the proof of the pudding. The fact that he didn't say an answer is an answer. The fact that he said, I want to go through the process, is an answer. That is his answer. You want a surety, right? She wanted clarity. Well, the clarity actually wasn't his answer. He said he wants to go through the process. If that's not good enough for you, walk away. And I wouldn't even budge an eyelid if you did. Because at the end of the day, you want to be assured and you wanted to make sure that this person actually is feeling you the way you are feeling them. No problem. That's an answer. You got your answer. Why are we here, sitting here, having this extra conversation? You got your answer. And then it turns into an argument. And it's like, why are we in an argument phase? Right? You got your answer, right? But it turns into an argument. Because what Shiloh wants is to be chosen. What Shiloh wants is to be able to have her way. I'm not cussing her. I'm just saying, right? We knew this was going to come because the excuse of I want to go through a process that she used on Tyron, I knew it was bollocks. I honestly knew it was rubbish. I want to wait. I want to go through the process. Yeah. We heard that excuse from Kyra from last season too. It's an excuse. Whenever somebody says I want to go through a process, it's because they're not sure about anybody that's there. Nobody wants to go through a process when they finally realize they've got something they want. They're going through the process because they haven't got what they wanted. That's the truth. So her wanting to go through the process with Tyrone was really because she hadn't got what she wanted. She didn't like Tyrone like that. You know, all the tears that she put on, I hear it. But baby, let's keep it a buck. You weren't on him. Now you're in a situation where you're on someone and they're saying, look, I gotta go through the process and rest up. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, she said obviously she got an answer when he was being defensive. And bear in mind, they had also been drinking this day as well, which is going to make inhibitions far more different. It's going to make inhibitions lowered. People are going to say stuff they probably didn't want to say, that they wouldn't say if they were sober. People are going to do things they wouldn't do if they were sober. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes the situation even more heated. And the mere fact that it turns into this escalation where she says, obviously, she went to the car and he tried to bring her back to the car. And, it's ended up being almost like a DV situation. Yeah, you already know how I feel about DV and situation. I'm always talking about these situations, right? We'll address that in another video. I want to do that separate. I don't want to do it in the same video. But for me, I'm looking at Phil on that conversational piece, and I just can see the brother does not want it anymore. This is why he doesn't want Shiloh anymore. This pushiness, this directness, I said it from last episode, this is why he doesn't want Shiloh anymore. Why are you pressuring him on this point when you had the same situation? Be so direct. Forcing his hand. It's like, I gave you an answer, let it lie. That's why it turns into an argument. It turns into an argument because if I've given you an answer, why are you still pushing for another answer? Right? You want to be chosen so bad, come on. We can't be doing them things there, because we can't be doing them things there. So for me, just kind of listening to that piece there, I just kind of knew that, Phil was not going to want to go with Shiloh. In fact, this probably has put the nail in the coffin. This is probably going to send Shiloh off the edge. If he hasn't made a decision now, he has now. He ain't getting his energy from Sydney. He's only getting it from Shiloh. He does not get this energy from Sydney. He's only getting it from Shiloh. And that's going to force his decision making. He's not going to want to choose her. She lost composure. That's the honest truth. She lost composure. She wanted to be chosen, and she forced her hand, and then she's now got this situation. She lost composure. And unfortunately, she's also lost a place with Phil. He is not going to want to go back there again. That level of disengagement in body language that he showed, he is not going to want to be with this woman. And I talked about how Shiloh is to be the peace, and I said about her being annoying. When he said it from the last episode, it all stands. Her doing what she's doing, it'd be annoying. Yeah, it'd be annoying. Because it'd be stuff like this. Pushing for an answer. That's what I said about the therapeutical aspect, that sometimes people will be pushing for an answer and not realizing that they're pushing. He's okay. He's giving an answer. Settle it. Hold it. Understand it. Move forward. Don't drag it. Man, let me know you guys' thoughts, man, down below. What do you guys think of this particular situation? I really did think that, I know Phil can be more direct, and I would honestly be on Shiloh's side had she not have said what she said to Tyrone. Once she said what she said to Tyrone, you cannot now try to play it like you don't want to go through the process no more. You can change your mind, you're more than welcome to, but then you can't be hypocritical and force somebody to now also reveal their hand when you didn't want to reveal it yourself beforehand. That's hypocritical. But anyway, let me leave it there, guys. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded.